Now, in a fresh and a major setback coming in for the Shiv Sena president, Uddhav Thackeray, Chief Minister Eknath Shinde has been still on in the Supreme Court, which will be heard now on the 21st. But this is a fresh decision and a major setback coming in for the Shiv Sena president.
So who is leading the real Shiv Sena? That remains to be seen, as to multiple moves that has now been made by the Chief Minister to actually keep the party name and to declare himself as the real leader of the Shiv Sena. Radhika joining us at this point. So Radhika, multiple decisions being made. What is also being said that majority of the party MPs could also side with Eknath Shinde.
Absolutely. This is a fresh and a major setback as far as Uddhav faction is concerned. Almost 12 of 18 party MPs in touch with Eknath Shinde. They had a meeting, likely to switch sides. Perhaps that may happen today itself. In fact, they're expected to meet Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla in Delhi today, is what we are hearing, and make a request before him for a new whip and a group leader. So all the 12 MPs expected to be in Delhi today. Eknath Shinde expected to meet them. In fact, this is, of course, Shinde's second visit. There is a possibility that he'll be meeting several other BJP leaders as well in order to, speak about cabinet expansion as well. And one of the most important decisions that was taken yesterday was passing a resolution electing Eknath Shinde as the leader of Shiv Sena. National executive of Uddhav also being dissolved and several members being changed there, but Uddhav's post as party president remains unchanged. So several decisions being taken. So this is going to be a tough battle as far as Uddhav Thackeray is concerned. And there is a possibility that with all these changes, Eknath Shinde could just move election commission very soon.
In fact, Radhika, does this also mean that possibly now the decision making within the party will also be held by Eknath Shinde and his faction, now that these new appointments have been made and also like a new post being created as far as the head of the party is concerned?
Yes, absolutely. Several new appointments being made, the leader being Eknath Shinde, spokesperson being Kesarkar, and several other appointees as well. So there is a possibility that most of the decisions will be taken by Eknath Shinde and his group. Of course, Uddhav's post, as I mentioned before, as party president remains untouched. But with these new appointments, with the dissolution of party executive, of national executive, there is a possibility that Eknath Shinde faction will move election commissions, staking claim for Sena. What we are seeing is several of the administrators, MLAs, MPs moving towards Eknath Shinde clan. So therefore, this is going to be very difficult for Uddhav Thackeray in the days to come if he doesn't have people backing him. Be it corporators, be it office bearers, be it the MLAs, then it will be difficult for Uddhav Thackeray to stake claim or claim Sena as his party, or as, the symbol as being his. So it's going to be a difficult battle in the days to come. It remains to be seen what will happen in Delhi today. There could be a meeting with the MPs. There could be a meeting with the top BJP leaders in Delhi, and there is a possibility that Eknath Shinde may meet election commission.
But Radhika, wasn't it at a time when Uddhav Thackeray was still the chief minister? There was a national executive meeting that was chaired by him, and wasn't there decisions then taken to avoid Eknath Shinde to actually take over the party name, the party symbol? What had happened back then?
Yes, absolutely. There were, there was a national executive meet that was held, and there were several MLAs at that time who had been supporting Uddhav Thackeray. But what we are seeing in the last few days is the numbers dwindling. Of course, that is something we had witnessed, during the government collapse at that time as well. The numbers that Uddhav Thackeray had, the number of supporters, especially MLAs, were just dwindling. And that's what we saw yesterday as well. Yesterday, there were two of the MLAs who were Uddhav loyalists who shifted sides, and Uddhav Thackeray went ahead and expelled them from the party. So what we are seeing is the numbers as far as Uddhav Thackeray is concerned dwindling, which is why Uddhav Thackeray is not in a position to take concrete decisions, since he doesn't have that many people on his side. And now, of course, MPs, 12 of 18 MPs of Sena ready to back Eknath Shinde. This is going to be a big setback for Uddhav Thackeray.
Absolutely, and as you pointed out, these are 12 MPs of the Shiv Sena who are likely to switch to the Eknath Shinde camp. They are also expected to meet the Lok Sabha Speaker, that is Om Birla, in the national capital and make that request before him. That's the update. But meanwhile, we have seen how Uddhav Thackeray's faction is also trying to empower themselves further. They have 100 new office bearers coming in from Mumbai, Palghar, Yavatmal and several other districts to really bid and rebuild the party's organization base yet again and hold and regain their hold in the state as well, Radhika.
Yes, absolutely. Thackeray is holding a series of meetings with Sena representatives. We did see, several of the administrators, several of the office bearers from several parts of Maharashtra, meeting Uddhav Thackeray day in and day out. And we also saw some of the women Sena leaders in the last few days also holding meetings with Uddhav Thackeray. So, right now, of course, Uddhav Thackeray trying to boost the morale of all those supporters, as far as
barely any supporters left to boost their morale there, Radhika, but remains to be seen what more moves will be taken by Eknath Shinde to have a complete control over the party, of which he describes to be as the real Shiv Sena. For the moment, Radhika, thanks very much for joining in. Let's quickly move on to the other